Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Halo World Championships 2017 live from Burbank, California. I'm Alex Axel Rodriguez here on the Xfinity desk alongside my friends Gaskin and Ghost. Gentlemen, we've been watching some Halo all day long. It's been a ton of fun. I think we're 5 matches down. The groups are starting to conclude. In fact, after this next match, there's a match happening on the main stream and on the Bravo stream. Definitely check that out. The match on the main stream is Str8 Rippin versus FAB, which is coming up in just a few moments here. And the match on the other stream is London Conspiracy versus Team Liquid. So to talk about those implications really quick, for Group B, Liquid is currently at 1-0. Luminosity is currently at 1-1. So if Liquid can take out London Conspiracy, which a lot of people might guess that they probably could, they will come out on top of Group B.
Dan, just...
I'm sorry. You can comment really quick on that if you want. Go ahead.
Crushing our hopes and dreams like that. Yeah. Maybe they've got it. No, they haven't got it.
Yeah. Okay, so Liquid might come out on top there. I guess we're saying that's happening on the other stream, so definitely check that out. For the purposes of this stream, we have FAB from Europe going up against Str8. This is going to be juicy, guys. Yeah. I think so, because both these teams right now are sitting at 1-0. So the winner of this next match will emerge as #1 in the group. Also, I do want to remind you guys, get on Twitter, Facebook, Beam, Twitch chat, join the conversation, say hi, meet some of the other people who are watching the stream as well. Where are you from? Let us know. Lots of people tuning in to watch the Halo World Championships, and remember, you can tweet at us at ESL Halo and use the hashtag HaloWC. By the way, we just had a Twitter. We had a fun thing where I got to pie you guys in the face, and that just went live on Twitter. So check out our Twitter for that. But anyway,
well, it wasn't you personally getting to pie us.
Kind of.
We kind of.
I got to host it though, so it's like
there's a pie in your future at some point. You know.
Okay, no.
Just always.
Why is everyone smiling at me? Just stop. All right, we have to move on. Can we focus on the show, please? Thank you. All right, so coming up, we have Str8 versus FAB. Both teams are 1-0, both taking out Soar. Soar will be last in this group. Sorry, Soar. But they will still be around in the loser bracket, so look out for them. But let's start talking about Str8 at first. This is one of those teams a lot of people consider near the top, right? Yep. In general conversation, it's Optic, Liquid, Envious, Str8. These are your top 4 teams in North America. Most people will agree. The question is, will Str8, do they have what it takes to make that surge into the Tier 1 conversation so that they can be compared to an Optic?
Yeah, and I think this is definitely a litmus test for both teams, right? When you look at FAB Games coming out here from Europe, they've been yearning to play a North American team, and luckily for them, they didn't have to play Optic. They actually end up playing Str8 Rippin instead. So pretty fortunate, and because of that, I know that Str8 Rippin is, I don't think they're concerned, but I think that they're not taking the FAB team lightly. And in the same boat, when we consider them in this, this top 4 discussion, do they have what it takes to get into the top 3, into the top 2? Well, I think that this series could kind of spell that for either side, right? So I'm going to look to see what Str8 Rippin does, but at the same time, we've seen some of these guys on the former Epsilon roster take down some North American teams. I know Renegades dropped a series last year in X Games, and we gotta keep an eye out for them, man. And if there's anyone that has a chance at doing it this weekend, it's these guys, right?
I mean, and we've got to talk about the implications of the win here for either of these teams. It's technically an easier bracket. When they get into the winners bracket, they technically should be playing a worse team in that winners bracket. If FAB can take down Str8, that is a real chance for them to finally break into that top 6. Yes, okay, if they lose, they might still find a way into the top 8, but this is a real chance for them to kind of show what they're made of, show the whole of Europe, who will probably be staying up late to watch this game, why they are the best European team we have ever sent to a North American event.
We're about to find out. The game is getting loaded up here. This match is about to begin. It's Str8 versus FAB. Before we get into the game, guys, predictions. Who's going to win this best of 5? Give me a scoreline. Who do you got? Who do you got?
FAB to take it 3-2 over Str8. Let's go.
Whoa! Wow. I don't know. After seeing Clutch's face right there, that guy looks possessed and borderline determined. So I'm gonna go with the 3-2 Str8.
Okay. I would love to see 5 games. What do you think? Let us know. Join the conversation. Get in the Twitch chat. Get on Twitter, Facebook, Beam. Let us know who you think is going to win this next match. It's either Str8 or FAB going to emerge victorious out of Group D. Without any further ado, let's get into the first game with the commentary. It's going to be Elamite and Walshy. Take it away, guys.
Once again, thank you so much, Axel, Toss, Elamite, and Walshy here joining from the desk as we are getting ready to jump into our game number 1. Capture the flag on Truth between the #1 squad in EU versus the #4 seeded Str8 Rippin. And this is EU's hope, just like the analyst said. This is EU's hope at making a run here for Worlds. If you're in the crowd here, let's make some more noise for these squads. Europe's only chance, and of course, the fan favorite, Str8 Rippin.
Yes, Str8 is going to be a tough squad to beat. I would say prior to this event, like prior to watching Halo today, I would have said this is the most likely chance of an upset. Besides like the Splyce versus Envy match. However, with that being said, when I watched FAB earlier, despite them being the best North American squad or best European squad we've ever seen yet, I wasn't severely impressed with some of the challenges I saw.
Yeah, I mean, then look at this. Flag is already being pulled here. That's respectful. Throwing that flag already past the 50-yard line. 2 members for FAB Games are down there, but they're both going to be taken out here. That's going to put a fresh 3 dead here now for Str8. Another flag being pulled by themselves here. Great grenade comes out. That's 1, but unfortunately, Jimbo not able to secure that 2nd kill here. Both flags were at home. Str8 actually secures that return here. Some big battles happening top of the base, and APG goes huge.
Yes, just back and forth between these 2 squads. I think I saw one more flag pull there just a moment ago, but looks like Str8's going to slow down a little bit, go for some slays, and eventually try to creep this flag back.
Yeah, I mean, and that was just back and forth slays constantly here as the flag gets returned here for both squads. Minute into the game, and you almost saw a couple flag cap opportunities coming out, but both teams just go ahead and reset.
Yeah, when they're in a reset position like this, the safest play to go is just go for slays and go for position. There's no point in desperately pulling a flag and putting your team in a 3-on-4 situation. So that's what both these squads are doing now. Hines catching out respectful who made a mistake. Hines getting the double kill. Now I want to see what Renegade does to cover his teammate as he's pulling this flag. Does not get the finish over on pink side blue. Eventually picks off 2 Foxy and is now moving the flag down towards pink 1.
Oh, but he recognizes he might not be in the best position to push that, so he waits, has his teammate come in. That's APG with the sword. That's a fresh 2 dead. Make that 3 dead. Last player alive here for FAB eSports is over towards Car 2. This flag looks like it's going in here by Ace.
And I love that cutoff route that Renegade took there. Instead of just lagging behind the flag carrier slightly, he decided to push over towards bomb center and then jump top center. That was going to prevent any players pushing over from Carbine towards top center and getting more than 1 angle on the Str8 Rippin flag.
Yeah, I mean, that was perfectly executed flag run here from the side of Str8 Rippin. Renegade taking over the position of top center, recognizing the only hope for FAB to stop that flag cap and shutting it down.
I believe we just saw a camo picked up a moment ago, and I believe that was Ace who got the camo. Got the help from Renegade there to pick off that AR kill, but looks like he's eventually going to take over Pink Tower, and that sword guy is getting a little too close for comfort as 2 Foxy lunges over and takes off Ace's face.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Kyle?
There's some decent shots there. Had the nice shot lined up, but must have missed a couple bullets on some of the previous ones to not secure that, and as 3 go down for Str8. What a big swing here, just showing how impactful this sword is in those sword runs. You can just get it across the map before these players are coming off of spawn.
Yeah, and that was actually a great run by Foxy. You notice how there was 2 distraction medals as he's pulling that off, and he runs all the way across the map and pulls the 2nd flag. We see FAB being incredibly objective efficient here. They only got a matter of about 6 kills. Look at that double cap for FAB.
And they are coming out hot right now. Str8 Rippin not able to shut down this aggression and not being able to counter the sword flag runs here that are coming out from FAB eSports. You can see the players just getting a little bit too aggressive. Now, of course, that was a splinter nade behind Hines, essentially cutting off any plan for retreat here, but just 2 Foxy going big with the sword.
Now, one interesting stat I'm seeing over on the Prowler is right now, Str8 Rippin is outslaying FAB 29 to 26 kills. However, the score doesn't reflect that because this is an objective game, and Str8 Rippin needs to convert those kills into caps.
And look at that, maybe a triple kill here coming out. He does get that triple kill. He will be taken out, but the flag's starting to be moved again. That's Ace securing a big double kill here. Actually, that's Ace securing a triple kill with a perfect on the last player alive. That was going to be game over for Str8 in this #1 if he didn't do that.
Huge play by Ace beforehand, not having too much luck in that sword engagement, but right there making up for it with that triple kill.
Yeah, I mean, just doing exactly what needs to be done here to keep this, keep their hopes alive of finishing #1 here in their group and shun down Europe's hope.
Now, you know Ace as a player and as a person better than anyone else out here. What is it that makes him such a great player?
I think a lot of it comes down to his experience growing up. I think he was kind of in a position that no one else in the community has ever really kind of been in, as he's coming out and hanging out with us, hanging out Final Boss, hanging out with Carbon, and immediately into the thick of it and hanging out and learning from all the best players at such an early and young age.
Yeah, that makes a very good point. Like, very few people get to be put in that situation where they get to possibly even play against top players early on like that, but he was in a very fortunate situation with you.
Right, and here we go. We're watching APG as he secures a double kill. That flag is being moved, though. A little bit of a nervous situation here for Str8 as Renegade comes flying out, but is able to stay alive. Great teamwork here from Heinz, and the flag gets thrown up top of the base. There is a player in there, but Richie Heinz, he gets taken out. The flag is being moved. Can Renegade get a pull in time? No, he is not. FAB eSports comes out strong, takes game number 1 against Rippin.
And I couldn't have been more wrong going into this. Had Axeltoss asked for my prediction, I would have said this was a 3-0 or 3-1 victory for Rippin. Because of how I saw FAB playing earlier, I felt like they did not have as dominating of scores as I would have expected. However, I got proven incorrect here. FAB have came out to play and did such a great job being objective efficient. They got outslayed there by 2 kills. 44 kills for Rippin, 42 kills for FAB Gaming, yet 3-1 in the cap department.
This game all comes down to objective efficiency, and what we saw was while Rippin dominated the majority of the game, they fell into chaos for about 30 seconds, and that's all the time you need with the sword to run the flag across the map twice here. So Rippin wouldn't be too alarmed here if I were them, recognizing like, hey, they got a couple lucky sword flag runs off on us. You know, if that game had gone to 5 captures or 10 captures, you know, we might be looking at a different story here. But regardless, can't take anything away from FAB Games Esports, because taking any game off of any North American team is a feat within itself.
Yeah, I would say that's the goal for every foreign squad coming out here, is to place higher than any North American squad, and FAB are looking primed to do it based on that first game.
Yeah, I mean, and they're setting themselves up in prime position to potentially take #1 seed here in this group. You know, there are a lot of question marks. People are saying, oh, this Str8 has the easiest group, or this group is the most difficult. I was looking at Envy's as the most difficult, in my opinion, here with that Splyce and Immunity here. And Str8, like, you can't overlook FAB Esports. They are the #1 seeded team in that pool. And Str8 is the 4 seed that joined them there. So you cannot take anything away. Like we said, like the analysts were talking about the whole time, this is the best Europe has ever had to offer here, competing now in Burbank, California.
Yeah, and I'm absolutely impressed right here, because coming into this event, Str8 has the 4th seed. I would still clearly rank them in like my top 5 as far as North American squads. But yeah, this is one of the best North American squads, and FAB took them down in dominating fashion, that 3-1, and it was just impressive how they're able to capitalize on a couple of small mistakes. That's stuff that we normally see reserved for top teams like someone like Optic or Envy, whereas as soon as they make one misstep, you get a double cap on. But from FAB to do that against Rippin, absolutely impressive.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, really good points to bring up there as well. You know, you're taking a look at your screen, you see you're taking a look at Str8, talking through maybe a little bit of what has happened. They need to make sure they refocus. Don't get flustered from that game #1. You need to play like Optic plays. They lost game #1 against Supremacy. They did not let it affect them whatsoever, and they just came out and dominated the next 3.
Yes, they did, indeed. I think this next game, we got to kick it off with one of the members from FAB, especially with how they closed out game #1. So let's go on with Mose, the man who's been putting up the biggest stats for the most part on FAB, and he's going straight for that scatter shot, and he's going to look for some close-range engagements.
Yeah, we'll see what he's going to be able to do with this weapon here, and we'll try to keep an eye on what's happening to that camo, as it's just now grabbed by APG. Now he's going to get taken out here, so we'll go on board and see what's going on here. As a great Splinter Nade comes out, takes a player, no shields, tries to follow it up with a frag. We'll go ahead and secure that one. Wow, look at that. Power weapon still up here. Kind of an interesting start here for these squads. Is normally
strong start for Rippin, 5-0.
Yeah, oh wow, yeah, 5-0. And it's weird because coming off the carbine spawn, blue team almost always grabs the sniper rifle here.
One thing I love about that play from APG is that he knew sniper was up. He could have gotten a camo sniper. Instead, he opted to go for Engine 2. He realized how strong position Whitehall and Engine are and how much of a threat they are to that sniper spawn, and he's just one step ahead of the game.
You know who's angry right now, Tom, or Dave, sorry. It's going to be straight Rippin.
That's who's angry.
It's going to be straight Rippin as it's 9-1. Now Ace is running around with that scatter shot and sniper rifle here. And, you know, look for him to put up some big numbers this game as he's in prime position.
Yeah, right here. I mean, this is straight Rippin's aim and control to lose. The fact that they have this 8-kill lead, they have every weapon on the map, and I'm sure that new camo had to be up any moment. I wouldn't be surprised if it got burnt.
Yeah, it would be up normally on.
In one more minute. Sorry.
Normally it would be up in another minute, Dave, but they're odd minutes here that we're talking about. But 12-3 lead, still power weapons in Ace's hands. Great map rotations and thrusts coming out here so far. Holy cow. I didn't want to say anything there and jinx it, but I almost thought that was 2 headshots in a row. Either way, 15-4, sitting comfortable. New camo, like Dave said, is coming up soon. That's what you meant. I'm always one step
ahead of the game, and I was like, hey, this new camo's coming up, and that's exactly what they're going to be setting up for. But I'm interested to see where Ace does decide to set up with this. Does he decide to challenge it from that lower window and just try to snipe it, or does he anticipate some sort of flank coming through and worry more about Whitehall and barrels?
Ooh, and he just barely misses that shot there. That's one you're generally going to want to hit as he's got 2 players over there, his teammates trying to keep them alive here. It's great cover fire coming out though. Even though he wasn't able to hit that shots, he definitely pushed the player back and allowed APG's shields to recharge.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about Sniper is, sure, it's easy to quantify how much damage you're doing when you just get those sniper kills and headshots, but you can't really calculate how much of a presence you have on the map. All the different sight lines where you're basically backing down players from tower or backing down players from engine where they normally have sight lines and crossfire.
And Dave, take a look at this here. Ace runs away with that sniper, takes it over to the bunker side of the map here, but there's 2 Foxy just sitting there on the lift the whole time in camo, nobody able to spot him. And he is just moving around, eventually gets taken out.
Yeah, eventually taken down, and unfortunately was not able to put any damage on Ace, who has Sniper in the safe back bunker here. So right now, I'm not certain how FAB should be able to break this setup because, sure, that Sniper's there, but it's just being baited by Ace, who takes out 2 Foxy space. And I want to see what Straight Rippin does to rotate over, take outside, and get the Sniper. It looks like Ace decides to go over towards Carbine. I believe it was Renegade who actually went over and got control of that Sniper. So now, not only does Straight Rippin have a 13-kill lead, they have both sniper rifles.
And look at the stats here. Ace 6-0, yet to die this game. So definitely stepping it up here from that game number 1. So still twice as many kills here coming out of Straight then FAB, and the same setup the entire time.
And I'm glad you called out that 6-0, Kyle, because as we know, anytime the casters call out something like that, it's almost guaranteed for him to be not dying. Like, it's just an impossibility now.
Right, we'll see what happens here for the next minute, but we'll see if he's able to break the curse of the caster, or we've got 3 shots left here in this sniper. Is he going to make him count?
And I'm really liking these aggressive angles. It's one of those situations where after the game has slowed down enough and players have backed down so far, you can get a little greedy. You can inch up a bit further than you normally would in a standoff situation.
And what I want to do, Dave, is I want to hear what the communication's like coming out of Straight Rippin as they're starting to try to build on this lead here. So let's go into an Astro listen in here with Straight.
The side with that. 8 minutes. Big door, 2 big door. 2 big door crouching. No, where did I go? Where did I go with the sniper?
Go here. Go bunker, small bunker, small bunker. Bottom row. There was 2 big door crouching.
Not turning.
Alright, brown bunker, small bunker. 2 barrels. 1 barrel this side.
Go bottom nest. Sniper. Nest bridge, I know 1 shot. He went battle at you. He was 1 shot. Just don't shot him.
We got carbine. Still there, behind cut there. Still there, battle. Barrels, 1 shot. I got him. Shot, back on that. I'm still battle. I got battle.
Watch the flank.
Push this side.
Yeah, watch the flank. Oh, I'm gonna watch pipes.
Put your mic closer to your mouth.
Okay.
He's battle weak. Nest bridge weak in my job. 2 open field. On this. I'm back on
Nest bridge.
On Nest bridge. And on bat ledge. 2 1 guys in on Nest.
Look out. We can rotate pipes. Push pipes.
Push I'm here. Battle ledge 1 shot still.
I'm with you, Red.
Yeah, white corner 2. Battle ledge weak. 2 battle ledge. Looking. On Nest.
We're rotating. We're rotating.
Carbine. Connector. 1 shot carbine.
We're behind him.
Got 1 shot connector. 1 shot battle ledge. Got 1 shot connector.
He's above me.
We need to help him. Battle ledge. He's got a song piece.
You want. 1 shot back row.
Got him.
Back row. 1 shot.
Another one. One shot drop lane. He's
Carbine. There's 2 on me.
They got carbine.
Alright, so snipe down.
Bottom rail.
Snipe down basement.
Bottom rail.
Snipe in.
Bottom rail. Got to the map. It's connector. We gotta push connector. Bottom rail. I know. This is on me. Bottom rail, 2.
Yo, back connector.
2 bottom rail. 3 pipes. 3 barrels, guys, pushing.
John has it. I'm running with weapons. I'm dipping with.
On bottom pipes inside.
John has
him. I bless him. Side up soon. Bottom pipes there. I saw behind him, guys. Behind him.
Oh, we gotta get this. Come get this guy.
E2 weak. Shot. Side spawn. Shot. Jimbo in bottom nest. Nice. On bottom rail. Bottom rail. One shot. 3 dead. Alright, one shot.
Watch this side. Watch this side.
Alright.
I can't go for this.
Someone respawn. Bottom nest. E1. Barrels 2 of them. 2 barrels. 2 barrels.
I'm dipping. I'm running this. 36 camo. 36.
He wants one shot. He won one shot.
I got weapons. What time's camo? 36. 36. Yeah, I can't get it.
White corner, John.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. Guys, I need help. I have everything.
White corner still.
On camera, guys.
I couldn't get it. They might have it. Where? I don't know.
Go white corner.
I need it. White corner.
Shoes, going for camo now.
I can't see it. I swung.
Nice.
I swung bunker.
Got him.
White corner. Is that camo? White corner.
Yeah, kill camo.
White corner, guys. Go side one shot. I got him. Nice. Bunker somewhere. Bunker.
All right, now we've seen, it looks like FAB was going on a pretty nice run to try to bring this back, but Renegade finding his own power weapons that he lost, gets the new sniper off spawn and takes out the new camo player from FAB eSports when he grabs that. Follows it up by rotating over towards Engine 2 here, picks up the kill, and Bunker finds a player right below him when he drops, misses a couple snipes, and no, Jimbo going big, grabs secure of power weapon control. They're trying to finish off that kill. Looks like they will be able to do it as a nice double kill comes out of APG and another kill by Ace.
Yeah, some uncharacteristic misses from Renegade there with that sniper. A lot of times we've seen him be the hero in some of those clutch situations in previous tournaments, but end of the day, they still have a 13-kill lead. We start to see FAB close that gap a slight bit, but the entire spree, we still saw Sniper in the hands of Str8 Rippin. So even though they're able to edge back a couple kills, they never really got control of the map or the weapons.
Right, and let's move over here as we rotate to see what kind of weapons are coming out here. Str8, 2 members go down. This is a hard position or a tough position to be in as Heinz is getting collapsed on by a scattershot player. Ace picks up the kill there. You can see the players on his radar. He's starting to get collapsed on. Might not have time to wait for his shields to recharge, but no, teammates are coming off spawn over here. Another guy spawns in bunker, it looks like. 40-28. Ace is looking to hit these headshots, not able to connect though, and that's going to turn Sniper over to 2 Foxy.
Yeah, we'll jump on with 2 Foxy, but we're going to have to wonder if this is a little too late. At this point, 11 kill or 12 kill deficit, it's not insurmountable, but when you're playing against a practice team like Str8 Rippin, they're going to know how to slow down the game, not give up a bunch of kills back-to-back like that, and they're going to clearly go and challenge for this next sniper.
Oh, and let's not forget, though, it was on this map itself during the last chance qualifier that we saw Allegiance blow something like a 17-18 kill lead against Team Cryptic and just fall behind there. So watching a team kind of just mentally dismantle is something that is potential, it could happen, but 47-31, I don't know if we're going to see that this time around.
No, yeah, this is a charge because you can't lose situation when they get a lead like that. It just felt like as soon as FAB started to get a little bit of a stronghold in this match, they just collapsed. Like those times where Foxy should be picking off some snipe kills, just picked off instantly, and Sniper back in the hands for Str8 Rippin.
Yeah, and you can see there are a couple battles going on here. Renegade, we're still on board with him, who has that camo moving around the map. Only 1 kill away from closing this one out. Still a healthy, comfortable lead, and as you can see, 2 players there available for kills, but his teammate's going to finish it off, and that's going to be a tied-up series, 1-1, as Str8 Rippin takes game number 2, the Rig Slayer, 50-35.
That was a great answer by Str8 Rippin. Like you said, tying up this series. Now we're just going to have to find out if game number 1 was FAB catching Str8 Rippin off guard, or if FAB is the superior objective team.
Yeah, that's another really good point to bring up here. Although we are going to be taking a look at strongholds this time around, so we'll be able to see if they're able to do that. Taking a look at these stats here, APG dropping 16 kills. Ace started off 6-0 and still increased his ratio up to 13-5, so positive 8 there. Going down the list here, Respectful having a little bit of a rough game, but not overly excessive on the deaths like sometimes you see people with the fewest kills.
Yeah, and in certain situations too, when you're nearly getting staked, you're losing 50-30 or 50-35, you almost would question if you have a teammate that's going positive, because that's almost a bad sign. It's like, all right, somebody clearly is doing something, either they're significantly better than their teammates, or they might be baiting and not be playing the game how it should be.
Right, that's a really good point to bring up. I know something you're familiar with, Dave, in the past.
I've been on the baiting end of things quite a few times.
Right, I've teamed with Neighbor. Shout out to 343 there for... Gosh, everybody knows how that guy likes to play the game here. But either way, this is Str8 Rippin tying it up like we said here, and I didn't see too much of that from either team, really. Like you pointed out, equal deaths essentially among everyone here from FAB. Straight Rippin was just off to a real hot start. They were able to minimize any kind of power weapon control here coming out of FAB eSports, and to kind of highlight that point even further, 9-2, Dave, as far as overall power weapon kills.
Yeah, and that's not too surprising. Just the story was all told from Aces and Renegades POV, because we just saw the entire time they kept control of that sniper. Anytime one of them would get picked off and died, it just felt like another Straight Rippin member was there ready to pick it up. Or the times that we did see, like the very few times we did see someone like 2Foxy pick up sniper, was shut down instantly.
Yeah, and you can see even when FAB was able to grab that camo, Renegade was sitting there waiting for it. So clearly the communication is on point here for Straight. They were able to control power weapons even after their teammates were dying with them. I heard a couple times in that listen in APG, I spawned behind him, I spawned behind him. And just making sure, emphasizing it to all of your teammates to recognize, hey guys, let's set up and play around me right now.
Yeah, that's a great point, Kyle, that flanker mentality, because I've always kind of tried to break down FPSs in a way like that, where when you have someone who has a flank on the opposing team, your job is either to be doing damage or distracting the other squad. And so, like you said, he reacted the same way with the rest of his squad, letting them know either you guys need to stay alive and buy time for me, or as soon as they're focused on me, charge in, collapse for this kill. I have a flank. I have a different angle of attack.
Yeah, I mean, really great points to bring up. It's always like, what's the perfect setup? What's the best thing to do in this situation? Well, sometimes that's a really hard question to answer.
It's all relative.
Right, exactly. But as long as everyone is on the same page and working towards that common goal, then it's good chances that the play or the course of events, sequence of events, will work out in your favor.
Yep, I would much rather have 4 players doing a inferior strategy than 4 individual players trying to do their own thing, which is supposedly better strategies.
All right, now let's start this one off here with Jimbo here, see what EU has to offer, as he is argued as one of the, the top players here in EU, a big-time streamer. I'll see him on at all hours of the day, streaming and, interacting with his fans there as well.
Yeah, he's got to be one of the biggest Halo streamers in the EU, right? Like, got to have one of the bigger fan bases.
Probably the biggest.
For sure. No surprise, he has great personality and clearly one of the top players as far as skill goes.
All right, now we do have the camo here in the hands of APG. So after this death, Mo's able to grab that. We're going to switch over here to APG. Now, doesn't elect to go for Nest quite yet. Pushes bottom center to help out his teammates. I do like this play. You don't want to waste camo by being in Nest, especially if nobody from the other team can contest. So wait for one of your teammates to get over there and do that.
Yeah, I really like that play by APG. Just a clear heads-up play. Clearly, I think some less experienced players would have just sat there and nest, like you said, but instead he realized like bottom middle is one of the toughest strongholds to get control of here on Plaza, so he decides to always contest that as soon as that option is available.
Ooh, and a lot of action happening here towards bottom center and bottom lift. Looks like Hines is going to get taken out. Renegade's got a good angle for some additional shots going down. That's 2 dead for each team. Bottom mid is starting to be captured by FAB. Looks like both members down there. You can see how quickly that stronghold's going over to FAB eSports.
Yeah, and that's not too much of a surprise, too. When we start seeing Straight Rippin, they're holding Yard and bottom center. They just need to let go of Yard and get control of the center of the map, or they just need to try to desperate and hold on to that as long as possible. I feel like the long-term strategy clearly is you have to get control of the center of the map. So at some point when you have too many members falling down there, you just got to cut your losses, get a push, and make that all together.
All right, now Straight was able to secure a lot of kills, but not able to keep control of this nest. So there's players starting to push across. A little shot in the back. That might turn out to be a big deficit here that they put him at. Not going to be able to grab that. That's a 3-cap now coming out here for Straight. Now, we saw Team Immunity really struggle against this when they were playing Team Envious. They kept neck and neck the whole time, but one of the hardest things to do is break out of a setup when they have full control, and that's what I think a lot of these foreign teams are lacking.
Well, on Plaza Strongholds, what is the best way to break out of trip cap?
We talked about it before. There's never a perfect, but as long as everyone's doing it together, I think it's going over towards loop and glass and avoiding blue side of the map, because lots of times you can sacrifice Yard, and if a team recognizes you're all going blue, pushes in Yard and gets top gold, they can really, really shut you down as you try to move across towards Nest.
Gotcha. No, that makes a lot of sense. I'm always a big proponent of just trying to cut the bleeding in certain situations like that, and it always depends on where you spawn. Like you said, if you spawn that loop area, sometimes it might be best just to go over towards Yard and get control of that, whereas if you're in Cafe, you might be able to slip one person towards yard.
All right, a lot of action happening here bottom center. Looks like FAB is getting in great position here to secure this hill. Hines gets taken out, or the APG gets taken out, excuse me. That's going to put yard and bottom mid back over to FAB. 50-7, so Str8 has hit the halfway mark. FAB finally trying to get these points back on the board.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised that FAB are still kind of sitting on the bottom of the map. Players like Jimbo and I believe his teammate Mose were down here near bomb center, and I feel like most cases, teams are going to use that bomb center stronghold as bait as they go over and get control of Nest. But seems like FAB just don't want to get off the bottom of the map.
Yeah, and Respectful here has got a shotgun here, was able to pick up a kill on Ace. Moving over towards Light Rifle, this is where you see players hiding all the time. They can just move up and down this ramp, put additional shots on a player, for example, that might be top gold, and then rotate up the ramp and completely shut down Loop, Glass, and Light Rifle. But if you're missing shotgun shots, Dave, that's not going to work out in your favor.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a great situation there for Respectful, but that turned real quick as soon as he got crossfire across the map. That was a great heads-up play by Str8 Rippin, looking for places that players are normally going to sit.
Yeah, and you can see there's a great setup here coming from FAB, but they weren't able to execute properly. They only got 20 seconds, while the last time we saw, right, and Str8, when they had their trip cap, accumulated 50. So if they're able to just kind of keep that same pace that they had just a couple minutes ago, they'll be able to close this one out handedly.
Yeah, and that was just surprising how short they kept that trip cap for, and especially got it reversed. A lot of times, teams, when you have a trip cap, you're going to make them bleed out for a bit. You're going to make them send a few deaths in one direction or another.
What a nade, Dave. Sorry to cut you off there.
No worries.
Did you see Hines bounce that splinter off the wall? We've seen a couple other players take that same throw earlier, but Hines is the first one that actually connected perfectly.
Yeah, and those are just those heads-up plays, just knowing where players are mostly going to come from and finishing off those with grenades.
And take 3 down here. Str8 accumulated 20 points already and still in position, waiting for FAB to come off of spawn to try to shut them down once again. Hines doing the perfect rotation, immediately going back up to S4, grabbing that splinter nade off of its spawn and putting it to use, connecting once again.
Now, for players out there who might not know the spawn system nearly as well as you, Kyle, why would Hines be sitting all the way back here over at Nest when his teammates are like near yard and near that glass area?
So triple cap, there was always this big early conversation is like, should we go for triple cap, should we not? Well, in Halo 5, you can rotate so quickly back and forth. Snakebite is the prime example. He's the best one in the whole world at doing it. But as long as you're able to collapse on spawns and quickly rotate back to the other side of the map to either block spawns or collapse on another player, you can have games where you just run away with it the entire time.
Yeah, and that's looks like what Str8 is doing, because they now have a 93-25 lead with Hines capturing bomb center. So they have bomb center and Nest, the 2 strongest strongholds on this map.
Yeah, and we'll see if the rest of FAB has any hope of breaking this setup, because they've got one last opportunity to do anything here. 98 seconds. As long as Str8 contests the hill, which they are doing, this one's over. That's going to be Str8 Rippin taking a 2-1 lead here in this series.
And looking at the slays on this one, it was Str8 Rippin out slaying again, but quite a bit more dominating fashion. We had 46 kills for Str8 Rippin, whereas only 27 for FAB.
Yeah, and we'll have the stats up here in just a couple minutes, and you're looking at the players. 12, 11, and 7 out of APG. So that's the APG I always like watching. Hines, though, 11, 14, and 5. Look at the number of assists here coming out for this team. So outslaying 46-27, and the assists there are just on point here for this team. Str8 been just doing a great job at controlling the entire pace of that game.
Yeah, what was that, like 5 out of 6 kills are assisted there for Str8 Rippin? They had something like 35 assists or 39 assists. Absolutely ridiculous from Str8 Rippin.
Yeah, and you know, just taking a look at how FAB accumulated their points. I think they got 6 points in the beginning, followed up by, ended with 25. So off that triple cap they had, they got 19. So off their 2 opportunities that they had for control, they got 6 in 19 seconds. Str8 Rippin's was a 50 and 50 split.
That is absolutely nuts, and just closing it out like this, 97-25. And that game was really close early on, actually. It was, only a 10 or, yeah, only like a 10 or 15 point deficit at the very beginning. But Str8 Rippin just showing that maybe game 1, I wouldn't say is a fluke, but they're showing that they're stepping right back up.
APG a little camera shy there. Oh, Brad, we know you're beautiful. But either way, we are taking a look here as they get ready to jump into game number 4. Still 2-1 lead here. You can see Str8 Rippin definitely looking a little bit more confident. Some laughs here coming out from the squad. They got to be feeling good now as they're really playing extremely well. I am really happy with what we saw, especially from Heinz and APG there, and of course that game number 2 from Ace.
Yeah, and one thing we had highlighted earlier, especially on game number 1, Truth Capture the Flag, where Str8 Rippin outslayed but ended up losing the games. We talked about objective efficiency, but that can only carry so far. You still have to be somewhat in a reasonable amount of slays in order to actually execute that. So I'm trying to figure out what that number would even be here on a Plaza Stronghold games, because at the point when you start getting outslayed by nearly 20 kills, nearly double the amount of kills, that's a little out of reach.
Right. I mean, at that point, Rippin just starts farming kills, just picking them up, because no chance that they're going to end up losing that one. They were just in great control, and the rotations, especially from Heinz at Nest, was just extremely dominant, because not only is he blocking spawns, anchoring that position, he had the 2 best Splinter Nade throws from S4 that we've seen so far this tournament. Connected on the one into Flowers, of course Flowers being called based on the location of the map, and then the other one on the top gold where he actually secured the kill.
Yeah, so great nades, great heads-up plays. They were just controlling the spawns the entire match and just had an idea of where FAB were going from, where they were coming from. And I think some of that prediction and anticipation is one of the best feelings in Halo, where it's like, all right, I already know a person's going to probably come around from this corner area, and so you can get the first shot and win those fights. It's just a snowball effect.
All right, I want to see what kind of beginning strats we have here from the EU squad. Maybe see if there's any kind of variation than what we see from a lot of these North American teams. As Mose is the one able to push up and grab that railgun. You can hear that little click there, was able to secure an extra assist with one of his grenades that he threw, but Camo went over in the hands of Str8 as APG grabs a double kill, immediately pushing into the base. They're trying to spot him out. APG not even shooting that shot, recognizing he doesn't want to reveal his location.
I like that play. He just wants to make them work for it. Right now, he is doing this perfect flank roll. Remember when we went to the listening? He talked about how he has a flank, stay alive, and here's another perfect situation. He's just going to cause FAB to panic. I don't want to see APG run this flag until he gets a slay or 2, and that's exactly what he's doing. He just keeps this separation between himself and his teammates, and now FAB, their attention is divided. They don't know whether they should be focusing on top center and getting kills, if they should be going back to their base to try to clear out APG, or if they're going for a flagpole. It's just got to be complete chaos for FAB.
And this is an intense moment for both teams, as both flags are in fact out, and the flags are literally right next to each other. APG drops, he does lose that sniper. Heinz pushing up, trying to prevent any kind of return from happening here, as Str8 was able to get theirs back at home here. Member of, looks like FAB, 2 members of FAB hiding Str8's base, but they're not forgetting about those guys. They do push back, finish that off, and take a look at this. Ace with the railgun grabs a kill, already moving the flag across the map, has it in his own base, and just like that, minute and a half, we got straight up 1-0.
And so much trust amongst this Str8 Rippin roster. You notice how Heinz did not hesitate to rotate from watching that flag to just going top center and going for slays.
And let's take a look here at the spectator mode as we can see the player outlines. Looks like Ace throwing some nades over here. Maybe he naded his teammate there a second ago.
I think he may.
Just, making sure he's not doing too much. But there you go. Hits that last shot there in the gun, immediately pushing up towards elbow. Now, he's got his teammate there working with him. Need to make sure they do not overcommit here, because you do not want to die when you're in the enemy team's base. You want to make sure you can at least pick up a kill plus an assist with your teammate, start moving that flag across the map.
Yeah, it looked like he reached very little resistance once they actually got in front of that courtyard. So just showing how much map control that Str8 Rippin has. Although they're only outslain by 6 kills, it's 18 kills for Str8 Rippin at the moment, 12 kills for FAB Gaming. It still feels like they have total map control.
Yeah, and you did just have APG with the railgun and the camo. So obviously their coach Wes, or Clutch, they're doing a great job of timing those power-ups. Foxy, looks like 2 Foxy here. He's got the railgun off of APG's body there. So he's going to see what he can do with this weapon as he connects on 2 shots so far. 2 shots left here in this weapon, immediately backing down, make that 3 connections so far. So you can just see how important power weapons are. So he gets a triple kill. Could have been an over, maybe even a kill tack if it was just a second earlier on that first one. And gosh, that was a great job by 2 Foxy, just holding down Str8 Rippin, keeping them in check. But the sad part is they weren't able to move that flag.
Yeah, that is the disappointing part, because he had a teammate there. And it looks like they must have not been on the exact same page, because like you said, 2 Foxy getting that unofficial overkill, doing so much work, taking out every member of Str8 Rippin, yet the flag didn't move past the yard.
Right, and here we go. As he gets taken out, we're back over with 2 Foxy pushing, or excuse me, Jimbo, as he's pushing into the base. Great Splinter Nade comes out, and they were just waiting for him there. 2 members of Str8 Rippin not even appearing on radar, and then just timed it perfectly with the Splinter Nade, essentially acting like they knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what his exact plan was there, because it felt like those are some of the most frustrating situations when you're sitting around the corner, you assume you have that leg up, but so many players here are predicting where players are hiding at some point after you've been assault rifled in the nest or in the treehouse a few too many times, you are assuming it's a little too good to be true when you see nothing on the radar.
Right, and the other thing that's kind of like a little question mark for me there was he was sitting around that corner with the light rifle. So essentially expecting an up-close battle with a long-range weapon here. And what you saw from Str8 is they're going around that corner. They've got their ARs out. So however you feel about the assault weapons on the map here, you got to use them in your game.
Yeah, you don't bring a light rifle to an AR fight, that's for sure.
So true, Dave. That new camo is also up, so we're seeing both of these teams compete over this one right now. That is a late camo, too. It was grabbed, and APG able to run away with it again. So we're seeing APG stay extremely power-up and power weapon focused here this entire series.
Yeah, it's not just being on top of him, but also when he's had the power-ups, he's made such great use of them, just being an absolute distraction. Although Str8 wasn't able to transition that first flagpole when APG had that camo over the opposing base. Actually, they were able to eventually do it, but whole point being is it didn't happen immediately. Either way, he's been doing a great job overall with the camos.
Good play here from the defense of FAB eSports to kill APG and take down the other members of Str8 that were getting aggressive into the base. APG, did get killed. Maybe should have grabbed one of those, but either way, there was an extra member to go ahead and clean it up if he wasn't able to do so. Respectful here with that railgun. One last shot, so he wants to make sure he can make it count here. He's got a teammate sitting there on the porch trying to push into the base, and really Respectful is just very concerned about a player from Str8 moving up into red treehouse. As you can see, he's constantly checking.
And look at that double team from Str8 Rippin. As soon as he pokes out for a moment near the porch, just melted by light rifle and another weapon from the Str8 Rippin porch. So that's a frustrating situation where you finally spot someone across the map, and in a situation you normally have the advantage with the railgun getting melted instantly.
Yeah, and you can see here Foxy pushing up into the treehouse. Two members of Str8, both were taking no shields. Three members collapsing somehow. Who was that? That's APG grabbing a trade in almost a certain death situation here. He's doing a great job as that flag starts to get moved. Players coming off spawn over here towards the garage area. Now it's only up to Jimbo if he's going to be able to grab this flag, but Renegade, the Renegade says no. He's running around with that railgun. And did they get the, oh, they did get the return.
They got the return, but I was about to commend Jimbo for that play because a lot of less experienced players, I think, would have just instantly sprinted and tried to get that flag pole. Instead, Jimbo realized he wanted to divide the attention of Str8 Rippin members, make them decide between going back towards their flag and fighting a player at porch, or pushing all the way back over towards the FAB base.
Yeah, and here we're still watching Ace. He gets taken out by Respectful. So, I mean, what we're seeing from these European players is, I mean, they still all got great shots. They're still a very talented team here. It's just a lot, like we brought up time and time again in all these series. It's really hard for some of these foreign squads to be experienced in all the situations because you don't have that same level of practice in the other regions.
Yeah, and even though you have great shots too, it's those differences in slays. Like we saw every game so far, Str8 Rippin has outslayed FAB Gaming. The first game by only a couple kills, even though they lost. Second game, obviously heavily outslaying in the Team Slayer and Rig. And this third game right now, they've been holding up about the 6 to 10 kill difference the entire match. Yeah, and one of the good things from Str8, even though they're not hitting all of these railgun shots, every time they die with it, there's essentially only one shot left here for FAB eSports to try to use it to their advantage. So really not being able to get those power weapons, any real kind of sprees going on where they're killing people off spawn to make sure they're able to run a flag across the map. And look at how much Str8 Rippin is making these members FAB chase down for kills. Whether it's Moe's trying to go in that front yard and kill that player, or whether it was Jimbo trying to go into the engine area of the Str8 Rippin base. These players buy so much extra time. Those extra 3 or so seconds just add up over time because eventually these players are going to get frustrated. You can get shot in the back and they're not going to get support. But Foxy getting an ace double kill with that melee over at the elbow. Can his team break out of his base now?
Yeah, I mean, that was a great double. APG, I believe, missed his melee there. That was a situation Foxy should not have lived through, but he was able to get away there. Gets another kill here. Gets rewarded for that clutch play. Railgun still over here in the hands of Ace now. He's constantly getting poked by several different teammates, or excuse me, enemy teammates, and then does eventually drop.
Yes, and looking at Jimbo, I believe he almost got a double, now has Railgun in his hands going over towards this elbow. Thanks to Foxy, I would say, is they're in the situation for that double kill and actually pushing out to the Str8 Rippin base. So now we have to see if they can keep these slays up and eventually get a flagpole. It just seems like they do everything right for the first few steps. They get out of their base, they get control of top center, they get control of Railgun, and then they get to the straight Rippin base and they hit this wall. They get picked off every time they're about to pull this flag. Or they pull the flag and they don't run it very far.
Yeah, and they were able to stay alive so well. Ace actually picking up a triple kill there from the engine, playing defense here, which shuts down yet another prime opportunity that FAB Games eSports had to run that flag. And, you know, 1 or 2 more shots in that railgun, it would be completely different here, especially after that clutch double we saw from 2Foxy.
I think we just saw 3 members of Straight Rippin go down, but we do have Hines with the railgun trying to be this hero, eventually taken out by a grenade. We do have Mose for the first time running a flag actually very far across the map. This should certainly be a cap for FAB Game. They're tying up the game 1-1. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, and Fathom capture the flag.
And what a great job here from FAB Games eSports to not give up and stay in this game, recognizing like, hey, it's only a matter of time before we're able to get something going.
And I also think that's a partial mistake from Straight Rippin. You notice that they were in a near even situation. I saw a flagpole of FAB Games, and right after that we saw 3 members of Straight Rippin drop, and that flag was pulled then in FAB's favor. So great for them for staying patient and waiting for the right opportunity to run the flag across the map.
Yeah, new railgun's coming up here. Renegade's got the old one, 1 shot left here. Does grab that new ammo, so he's in a good position. There's definitely somebody that any Straight Rippin fan is happy to have in control with the power weapons, but as he goes for that battle rifle, he gets chased down by an AR with Mose here, so that's going to go back over into his hands.
Yeah, and Mose is the player who last time ran the Straight Rippin flag all the way back after they got a few slays, so I want to see how he plays it in this situation. Right now he has railgun. I feel like he should not be moving directly in the Straight Rippin base unless he knows he has a safe route. This is that railgun shot. Almost makes up for the BR, but Ace gained that double kill, going for a triple kill on the porch. And that is Hines and Ace clearing out all 4 members of FAB.
Amazing defense. That's definitely one of the biggest differences in this game, or essentially the only reason this game is tied is FAB has been in position, honestly, to have taken this one. But no, it's just too good of defense coming out from Str8, Ace and Hines, both picking up doubles and triple kills to stop it.
Yes, and so not only do those kills stop the flag capture or a flag pull, it allowed Renegade to get control of Camo and Railgun, but he is getting shot from so many angles from the FAB players. Eventually clutches out that kill on Jimbo and still getting chased down. Going for a sick Railgun shot, but eventually taken out by Respectful.
And Europeans, they're just don't die to Railguns, I guess. He's not able to connect on that one, and he does turn over that weapon. So what a course or change of course of events here. Now it's going to find its hands back over to 2Foxy. 30 seconds left to play in this game. Now, of course, we are going into overtime unless someone's able to cap the flag here or actually get a flagpole and run it, because you still need to have about 15 seconds to put that one in.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, if they don't put it in time, there's an extra couple minutes for the other team to bring it back.
You know, I don't see either of these teams in position right now to pull that flag, and I highly doubt that either of these teams are just going to try desperate it, because this game could very well be decided by 1 capture. In overtime, clearly it's not just the first cap wins, it goes out through the full 3 minutes. However, both these teams, based on the pace of the game so far, it's been 12 minutes, and teams are capping about once every 6 minutes, so they're just going to try to slay and wait for the perfect opportunity.
And speaking of slays, that's 2 down here. Fresh 2 down for FAB. As Str8 starting to collapse in the base. Great shots here coming out from Jimbo. Picks up that kill on APG. Some nice nades coming in. Have to push Ace here back off of Porch, but none of them connected, so there were no hit markers there registered. And Ace with the great shots takes out 2Foxy, gets into the next 1v1 fight. Not able to win that one.
Yeah, great job by Respectful. Playing defense there over on the engine side and taking out Ace, who was absolute full shields as well. So just winning that 1v1, moving towards top center, getting those shots on Hines. He does trade with Hines, so that is another big win. But Straight Rippin on top of those power-ups every single time they spawn. It's APG, Renegade, and Ace grabbing all those camos.
Jimbo pushes into the base, doesn't get taken out by that nade, but will be cleaned up here. Now as we move on board with Mose once again, seeing what this European squad is trying to do to get another flag here out of the base. Gets 2 hit markers. 2Foxy cleans up both those kills here. This is not good for Str8. 2v4 advantage over here towards FAB Games. And wow, they have to push out of the base. They need to get a flagpole now, or the rest of Str8 is spawning.
Yeah, and it just took a little too long to get that pull, or more importantly, just to clear out those players in engine. So that's got to be a very frustrating situation for FAB, because not only, like you said, did they not get the pull, they just didn't get any of the kills. Right now, they're back in the defensive. You usually at least have a spawn or 2 after you've gone from a situation where you can almost grab the flag, where you get to go contest top center or go fight for the center of the map, but they went instantly from possibly capturing the flag to fighting for their tournament life.
Oh, and here we go. Renegade, last guy alive for the moment, was in their base. Shoots 2 players, so they know that he's here. Always trying to stay alive. Block different angles. Picks up the kill onto Foxy. He says, sit down there. He does get cleaned up there, but the amount of distraction and time he just bought for Str8, it tells the whole story there, or something you don't see in stats.
Yeah, it definitely is not going to tell all that in the stat screen because he's drawing members back the entire time. So even if Hines does lose this fight here in a second, he's in a great position for his teammates to push all the way across the map, and that's exactly what they do. They get this flagpole, moving it across the bottom center of the map. Renegade has it all the way towards his porch. This could be big trouble for FAB, and that is a 2-1 lead for Str8. Only 26 seconds remain.
And what that means here, based on the Halo 5 overtime rules, is, oh, the flag has been pulled, but they need to start running this within the next 5 seconds. They do, trying to move it across bottom center. Respectful, it's getting the flag through, and we may be looking at the first overtime replay here. The flag was pulled, 8 seconds left. What is happening, Dave? Trying to keep up here, and yes, they put it in. The FAB game's going clutch at the end of that game, standing up, celebrating. That's a W in their book.
Yes, that is an absolutely frustrating situation for Str8. And it's kind of one of those rules where the team that brings it into overtime, they're the ones that are pumped to play that replay and bring it back.
And wow, once we get the stats pulled up here, this is going to be a story to tell. Str8 definitely disappointed at how the end of that game played out because they were in perfect position to close out this series here just 30 seconds ago, and they let it slip through their fingers here. So we are looking at the stats there. Look at this. We've got 2 Foxy and Ace both dropping 38 kills this game. Very impressive stats. And then once again, the story, the teamwork here coming out of Str8. You got APG 23 assists, Hines 26 assists. Amazing job here from these squads, but you know, with these slays, with the overall kill count going in favor of Str8, 114 to 102, you would have thought they were able to close it out.
Yeah, and those last 30 seconds just tell a story. It's just a really tough situation there for Str8 because there's really no other way to explain it than just they had to not mess up. Like, they just had to get a slay or 2. And I wonder if Str8 got in a bit of a panic mode because a lot of times when you have that clock winding down, you only have a minute or so just to hold on to a lead. Some teams start to play a little too defensively. They give up all their positions on the map. Instead of being top center, they might hide in their engine. Or instead of pushing over to enemy base, they might be sitting over in their treehouse hoping to catch someone off guard.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but I believe they took that flag through bottom center on that last flag capture. So that could have been down through river, but I think I saw it go through bottom center, and that could have been, if they had taken it any other direction, that might not have gone in.
Yeah, and that was the funny part too, is because they had such little time. They said, hey, we gotta go for it, all or nothing here, run it the fastest route possible, and that's what they did.
And what a crazy game. So it looks like, I mean, we definitely agree with every statement that has been said from this team. They did come out to play. This is the best we've ever seen Europe have to offer here, sending these squads over to North America to compete here. And of course, watching the end of that game, one that definitely is going to need to be broken down at some point, because I would love to go in there and just watch exactly where everyone is and how everyone died, because that one, there was a lot of action.
You know, I don't think we're the only ones watching that, because if you look at Jimbo's screen at the very end there, he was standing still that whole time, probably just watching his teammates be like, just put the flag in so we can tie it.
Not even recognizing he's come back off of spawn to
We've
contribute.
all been there. We have all been there.
I've been in there a couple situations. I definitely had ones where, you know, you're watching the teammate's screen when you spawn and, you know, maybe not doing anything 3-4 seconds. Then I've also had the time where I thought the game was ended, maybe celebrated a hair too early. Luckily had legit there in position to kind of close it out and save me. But yeah, there's definitely been some funny ones in the past.
All right, so for those at home that don't realize what's going on, that last game was tied. What are the overtime rules here, Kyle?
In the overtime rules here, if the clock does hit 0 and the score is tied, it does add 3 additional minutes onto the clock. Now, that's going to be on all game types, something you never, ever see in Strongholds. Well, I've never seen it before, at least. Kind of frequent in Capture the Flag games, and then occasionally you see it pop up in Slayer as well.
But for this replay, what is going to happen? Is it going to be first cap wins?
Oh,
this is going to be a
12
minutes?
full replay, Dave. We're looking at a full replay. Now, if these teams tie on this game type once again, of course there isn't an additional overtime here, but then they will play the first cap wins. That was in effect put into place after we were watching none other than this squad here play against, what was the team name? It's Cloud.
Oh man, was it? It wasn't Panda at the time, was it? I forget the exact roster name.
It was relegation, and we had 5 replays on CTF Fathom. One of the most insane game 1, I want to say, series. And essentially the entire series was determined in that first Fathom CTF, and it turned out to be, what, a 9-game series after that?
Yeah, I mean, when you run a Fathom marathon like that, it kind of takes a little out of you.
Absolutely does here. Now, Dave, we're starting this one off with APG. Now, lots of times things we've seen from CLG when they're playing teams that are essentially, or excuse me, Optic Gaming, formerly CLG, playing teams that are lower seeded than them. After a tie, they come out and just dominate. So we'll see if Str8 Rippin was able to work on any of the errors that they were having during that first game and really just close this one out early. And it's off to a pretty good start there, Dave.
Yeah, and you talked about some of those dominating starts. It looks like Str8 just moving that flag quickly across the map. We're going to have to see where it's at the moment, but Renegade just playing it safe, getting those slays, and that's exactly what you want to be doing. Anytime your flag runner's running across the map, you want to make sure you're not going to put your team in a situation where you get counter-capped on. Hines running that all the way towards his front window and just going to play this patient while someone else takes the stat, and that's going to be Ace.
Yeah, that was a great relay there. Almost like a bait and switch coming out of Str8. Got Optic in my head now after talking about this former team that was once competing under that banner here. But we're still on board with Hines, arguably one of the best players here on the team as he just grabs double kill, waiting for his shields to come back, and immediately doing what you want to do here. Get back to top center, get that control, watch their treehouse. You have, looks like, a flank here coming out of APG as well. So this is that great teamwork that we're seeing out of this Hines and APG duo.
Yeah, and look at them just pinching on this FAB base. Hines watching elbow side, making sure that nobody can get an angle on his teammate, APG, who is at the front window. Looks like they're desperate a little bit, just trying to get some cover by pushing into the FAB base. That's going to be 3 members of Str8 Rippin going down. Jumping out with Mose, who has a BR, and is now making his way towards the silo. Yeah,
Str8 Rippin was in a great position. I'm pretty sure they had all 4 members pushed up more than halfway across the map, but they were not able to execute or get that flag out of the base, and we saw, like we saw in the last game, some great defense here coming out of FAB.
And look at that, Mose being a one-man wrecking crew, getting a double kill, clearing out this engine, and now he's going to try to go for some spawn slays at silo. Got to be a little careful though, doesn't want to block all these spawns and possibly have teammates spawning behind his flag carrier.
All right, he does get taken out there. That flag has been moved, but it's essentially the longest possible route on the map that they just took, moving it that way. So it's a scary moment as Renegade stays alive long enough to make sure that that flag carrier gets killed. APG on a flank has the flag outside of the base, and wow, what a great job.
I love this flag route too by APG. Realizes his teammates had numbers, so he decides to run the flag the same route as the opposite flag, realizing that they had more firepower so that they could concentrate their fire in one area, and they could go for protection and try to get the flag returned.
And what we just saw Renegade a moment ago try to grab that camo, but he missed the grab, thrusted a hair too early, and that found its way over in the hands of Jimbo here with Rail. So that was not what you wanted to see. You almost prefer to just grab camo and burn it and die just to keep it out of the hands of FAB.
One thing that I'm noticing between these 2 different teams when they're running flags back is Str8 errs on the side of caution. They are making sure that they get slays when the flag's coming back. Worst case, they're on even footing. They at least get a couple members down, and even if they don't get the flag capture, it's not like FAB is just running this counter cap instantly. Whereas, it seems like FAB is an all or nothing. They basically say, all right, we're committing this flag capture, and everyone goes out for that cap. Whether they're successful or not, they are either all for like staying alive as they somehow clean up the kills, or they're giving up their lives in all position on the map. Oh. I never see them slow it down like halfway. They never like stop halfway through and get positioned on top center and get kills.
Right, that reassess the situation once you hit the halfway mark. Hey guys, what is the likelihood of this flag going in right now based on the current position? What power weapons do we have? What numbers advantage do we have? Where are they coming off spawn? All of the above there. So wow, what a great job here starting to push this flag. Jimbo's been alive for a long time with the railgun as well, and is absolutely the driving force behind this flag capture, which may be going in. He gets taken, no shields. He's the only one that may be able to put this in, but perfect patience here coming out, and he will be able to secure this flag as no one from Str8 in position to close that one.
Just a wise play, and that was a great play by FAB because the previous flag capture, you noticed before, Kyle, that they took such a long flag route that Str8 Rippin did not have to panic when charging to try to get that flag recovered. Whereas this time, as soon as FAB got those kills, Jimbo took a quick route, got it all the way towards his window, and then he realized he could relax. He realized he could wait for someone to possibly make a mistake and try to jump in front window.
Oh, and look at this. They're taking the flag through bottom center. Renegade not able to connect on some of the railgun shots, but is able to stay alive the whole time, keep that player off of top center. That flag goes in, back to a 2-1. Looking at a repeat of what we just saw here from the last game. Renegade missing the melee. Great thrust, though, and stays alive.
Yeah, that was a pretty ridiculous battle right there. For anytime that I'm missing melees like that, I always pay with my life. But somehow Renegade, this kid stays alive even when he misses a melee in a situation like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a great heads-up play, recognizing the direction that you need to thrust based on where your opponent is and where the rest of your teammates are. So Renegade doing a great job here, holding down the power weapons for his squad. As you can see in that kill feed, double kill coming out for APG. He's still alive. That's all four alive, or yeah, all four alive versus 2 dead here. So this is not a good position to be in if you're rooting for this European team, as that flag's already out.
But look at this. Even though Str8 Rippin members were taken down, we have Renegade staying alive. He's not giving up all 4 dead, which is something that we've seen FAB do multiple times. They commit to the flag a little too hard, but Renegade just making it impossible for some sort of counter cap because he's such a threat with that railgun.
I'm not sure who went clutch there, but Str8 was in a good position to run that flag. Somebody from FAB eSports went clutch to go ahead and shut that one down. Now Renegade did a great job recognizing the situation, staying alive as the last member, and now recommitting and playing aggressive here, pushing onto the base.
Yeah, and that.
Whoa!
I can't believe he connected that. Jimbo, what a railgun shot, but that's a great point you made, Kyle, that he was able to be a part of that initial offense on the initial flag grab. He was the reason that FAB did not get full control on the map, and now he's part of the second flag run.
And look, all the members being killed. No shields, bottom center. He gets taken out. That's 2 dead. Flags across the map. Last one to go in. It's at the flag. Just needs to walk it in, and sure enough, Str8 Rippin comes out in that replay, just like we talked about. Much more dominating fashion in that replay. Able to work out some of the kinks that they were experiencing in the tie and prove that Str8 Rippin is one of the best squads here in the entire world, taking down 3-1 Europe's greatest hope.
But Europe is no joke here because look at those fights that they put up. I would say if we had seen matches earlier, like 5 or even 6 years ago, they would be almost guaranteed 3-0s from the likes of Str8 Rippin, but it just shows how much the European scene has caught up in North America. These guys are not out of the tournament yet. In fact, they're still going to be in the winner's bracket when we actually go to the double elimination bracket.
Yeah, and I think if they can take anything away from what we just saw today is the power weapon and power up control, because that, I mean, I don't have like a percentage statistic there, but I mean, it had to have been like 80-20 as far as overall grabs and kills throughout that series.
Yeah, we just always saw players like Renegade, Ace, APG on top of those camos, on top of those railguns. It felt like the times that we even saw FAB getting control of the camo, it's because Renegade missed a thrust. He just prematurely thrusted and went out of the way from that camo. So it's kind of weird where it's like, all right, they're getting camos because they messed up.
Right, not because they did something or executed a play, got in great position, but essentially it was a mistake coming out from Str8 Rippin that allowed them to get back into the game. And I think you could say the same thing about the initial tie. The fact that they were able to bring that back with less than 30 seconds left in the game, you know, it's something that happens frequently. 12 minutes of just back and forth action, and then the last 30 seconds, that's when everything goes crazy here. But we do have an interview with our winning team. Mr. Josh Gray, go ahead and take that away. Let's hear from Str8 Rippin.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm joined by Ace from Str8 Rippin for this Xfinity post-game interview. Ace, first of all, holy shnikes, 38 kills in one of those matches, dude. Pretty impressive. Let's talk about that capture the flag match. So close. It was a tie. What was the communication like between your team in order to get the victory?
Well, the first time around, we were getting that last flag with like 15 seconds left, and I made a mistake, and we all died at the same time. Which, when that happens, you can just, get on the enemy team's flag and pull it and run it right away, which is what they did, and that's why they capped at the end. But we just, talked about it after. It was kind of we were in control of that whole game too, and I think we knew what we were doing right, we knew what we were doing wrong. We talked about it after the game, and then we just came out and did everything we needed to the next game.
2 victories today so far. You had a victory earlier today against Sword. You guys feel you've been in control throughout the entire day, and how's that going to help you in the momentum into later tonight and throughout the whole tournament this weekend?
I think we're playing exactly how we thought we'd play so far. That first game was a little bit fluky, I'd say, because we kind of had like a really bad death, and they got the sword and then ran the flag. That's what happens on that game type. But yeah, we're playing as good as we thought we would so far, and I know we're well practiced coming into this event, so we're confident, we're feeling good, and we hope to win later tonight.
Now, you guys have been around the Halo scene for quite some time. This is a name that is synonymous with North America, and we've seen some of these other teams from around the world come in and try to compete against NA. But when it comes to some of the top teams that we've seen, Liquid, Optic, Envious, Str8 Rippin is on the tip of everybody's tongue when they talk about the underdog, the team that can come in and pull them down to get a top 3 spot. Taking a step back and looking at the Halo World Championship right now, what are your thoughts and feelings about Str8 Rippin as a team in order to make it into the top 3?
Well, we practiced a lot for this event. We talked about so much stuff. We went over theater after every scrim. I think we're well prepared going into this event, and there's no doubt that I expect that we can win this event as well. So I'm fully confident in my team, and I think that we can do really well this event.
Thank you, Ace. No doubt coming from Ace's Str8 Rippin. Give it up one more time for this guy's victory. 38 kills in one of those matches. Well done. Congratulations one more time, sir, and best of luck in your matches throughout the weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Halo World Championship Finals 2017. We are live from Burbank, California at the ESL Studios. This is day 1. It's Friday. Group action has just finished, and we're moments away from revealing a bracket, but more on that later. First, let's talk about that last match we just saw, where it was a pretty close affair there between Str8 and FAB. Guys, I gotta go straight to you. I need your thoughts on that matchup. I sense some forlornness here. Gaskin, what's going on, man? What's going on, Gaskin?
We tried so hard. We came so far. But in the end,
no.
Didn't really matter.
I knew you were that type of kid.
FAB is still in the winner's bracket.
They are. It's not the end of the world.
Consolation.
Just saying. Just saying.
They put up a really good fight. I mean,
I think I might have heard word that we can look at the bracket. If that's true, we're about to say, oh my gosh, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, FAB Games is playing against Optic.
Oh, God.
Yep, Optic versus FAB there in the top. Splyce versus Luminosity. Str8 Rippin versus Crowd Pleasers. And oh my God, Liquid versus Envious. That's something I thought would happen much later.
They did it to themselves, Axel Toss, after losing a Splyce. And, next thing you know, you're second in your group, and you end up matched up against the #1 seed of theirs, Team Liquid.
Take your screenshots, print it out, make your predictions, fill out your bracket challenge, fantasy, whatever, because this is the winner bracket. Let's take a look at the loser bracket, where we see the 3rd place team from each group dropping down there. Immunity, Soar, London Conspiracy, and Supremacy. So that fills out our double elimination bracket, and this is essentially what we're going to be watching for the remainder of the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations on watching all that group play action. It was a ton of fun. But now it's time for double elimination bracket to begin. But let's scroll on back here and talk about that. Last match that we just saw. FAB versus Str8. I gotta say, we all saw that tie that happened. They captured the flag.
Yep.
The last second caps.
Yep.
Tremendously exciting, but ultimately Str8 Rippin able to stay super smooth. And honestly, in that interview with Ace, it was pretty cool to hear him say, like, he's super confident. He's like, you know what? I think Str8 Rippin has a chance to win this whole thing. So really cool to hear that from Str8. But guys, let's talk about that match.
Yeah, I think that it was nice hearing Ace be a little bit realistic up there as well. But yes, going back to the match, that game #1, True CTF, that was a crazy matchup. Just watching that in the back and seeing all the different plays. I know that we saw Foxy make some great plays right here. You look at the screen, see him logging a huge triple kill after, I believe, after the 2 flag caps he had already scored. And here comes the 3rd one. I believe that does end up going in as the 3rd cap, and they end up winning 3-1. So when you look at this throw, everything, all the chaining together that these players have, it kind of looks like some old school teamwork, and that's something that I will always appreciate. Running the flag like that, throwing it up, and then moving on to the Plaza Strongholds match. We saw some good gameplay as well. Obviously, Heinz does his civic duty as a support player, taking some fire, throwing a splinter nade, getting some more assists and everything like that. But yeah, FAB in that first game, looking at 2Foxy specifically, has really impressed me. I think that he's very easily recognized as the best player on that team. No disrespect to the rest of the guys on the roster, but he's always just such a well-rounded player, it seems, when it comes to these big-time tournaments.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we talk about Mo's and Respectful as a duo, and of course, Jimbo has a huge following as well, but 2Foxy in that series played absolutely out of his mind. I mean, without 2Foxy, that could have looked completely different.
Oh, yeah.
He was constantly saving them, getting flag returns, getting the double kills, triple kills. He was doing everything. You saw it in his gameplay as well. He would worm his way around the map, getting kill after kill. And yes, okay, you might not see it in his body language. He's quite calm and collected, but you know how much he wanted that. They will be disappointed that they lost that one, and now they have to face Optic in the winners bracket.
Yes,
but at the same time, they're not out of the competition.
I want, before we go to the Tell-Str8 over there, T-Squared, I want some very quick thoughts, guys. FAB games going up against Optic in the winner bracket. Str8 Rippin emerging to the winner bracket as well. So quick thoughts on these two teams and how do you expect for them to fare, or what they need to focus on going into that winner bracket?
I had hope that FAB could have taken down Str8, but now seeing that they weren't capable of doing that, I really struggle to see them doing anything against Optic. Might take a map or two, but I don't see them taking a series.
Yeah, I don't know if they can take a series. It's hard to watch 2Foxy put up something like 38 kills, I think it was, in that original Game 4 on Fathom CTF before the replay, and for them to not, you know, win the replay and to send it into a Game 5. Had they done that, I would have had a little bit more faith when they go up against Optic. But yeah, probably only a game or two for them. And then looking at Str8 Rippin up against Crowd Pleasers, I think that's a little bit more of a fair matchup than FAB has their work cut out for them.
Well, I cannot wait to start getting into those winner bracket matches. Those are coming up momentarily again, starting on this stream with Envy versus Liquid. But before we get into that, T-Squared is standing by with some more analysis of that Str8 Rippin matchup. T-Squared, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Tom Taylor here, better known as T-Squared, and I got the tips to have you fragging like a pro. We're going to highlight a little bit of what happened with 2Foxy. As the guys mentioned, 2Foxy was playing out of his mind. All of FAB, really, I thought they put up a really great fight, and I was a little bit nervous, sweating over here, but this was CTF Truth, and we saw some amazing sword play coming out all day today. So what better way to end pool play with talking about the importance of the sword and how these guys put it to use. So Ace actually had the camo at this area right here, and I heard in the comms, Clutch said, coach of Str8 Rippin said, we got to work around Ace. Now, the sword guy died P2. I don't know who the sword guy was on Str8, but he died. 2Foxy picked it up, killed Ace with the sword right where I just highlighted right there, and then he proceeded to just do serious, serious work. He ran in, grabbed the flag, ran it all the way back over towards the side of the... Is that car side? That looks like... No, that's P side. Okay. Well, it's a little confusing either way, but you guys watched it, so you know what I'm talking about. So he ran the flag that way, got the cap, and then immediately, boom, jumps top center, sits there for maybe a split second, and then immediately runs, grabs the flag, and then runs it all the way car side. If that's car side, it is. There's the bubbles, and then gets the second flag cap in just a matter of 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and run that clip so you guys can see, and let's get it underway. So there it is. There is the huge kill onto Ace. He had the camouflage. And look at the clock. It was 9:20 when he pulled the first flag. He's immediately going to run this one over towards P1. And he's no shields. He doesn't even stop the entire time. He's so confident that he's going to get the flag all the way there that he just continues to do it. And that's one of the small little communication things that FAB did very well in this series. And look at this, no hesitation, stops for a split second, gets just one kill, and then immediately flies in for the next flag, starts pulling it out towards the car side, keeps it car one, is already no shields again, and then continues to run it. And what was it? It was 9:20, and then he puts that one in, so about 35 seconds overall. What a game coming out from FAB eSports. If they could have pulled off the CTF Fathom game number 4, we would have seen maybe our first game 5 of the event, but it didn't happen, and now we're going to have to go to the bracket play. But we got an interview on the floor, or actually outside, with Josh Gray. I believe he is with Richie Hines. Hines, take it away, guys.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. We're hanging out at the player tent, fresh off a win. I'm hanging out with Hines. All right, buddy, you and I, we have seen our fair share of Halo events over the years. This is a big one, 2017 Halo World Championship. What was the journey like for Str8 Rippin to make it to this event?
It's been a grind, honestly. There's no other word for it. I hate using that word, but that's what it's been. The last 2-3 months of my life has been Halo all the time, and I'm just proud that we got here, but we have some unfinished business.
Unfinished business indeed. You guys got some fresh wins under the belt so far. You got a couple more matches tonight, at least one more. and then into tomorrow, and then hopefully Championship Sunday. But let's talk about more of the casual life when it comes to Heinz. How do you balance the pro life and the personal life? And when you have to give up the rest of the things outside of your life to focus on this championship, how do you balance that? And how do you make sure it doesn't take an unnecessary toll so you're at your peak performance for a championship like this?
Yeah, when it comes to Worlds, you're definitely practicing as much as you can, but it's nice to be able to spend some time with family in between as much as you can, because that reduces the stress. And that's what I've been trying to do, honestly. But lately, Worlds, the grind, honestly, it's just been 24/7 Halo. Just watching film, going over stuff with teammates, playing matchmaking by yourself, just keep your shot ready. And, I mean, I'm just ready to hopefully win this event. That's my goal, and then relax afterwards.
You feel that all the preparation, the study, and the strategy has paid off so far today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of people argue that we had a little bit of an easier pool with 2 foreign teams. It was definitely a little bit tough, but a lot of the preparation we've had is coming to fruition, and hopefully we prove it against the crowd pleasers round 1 I think we're playing, so that'll be a tough match.
Now, I know Worlds is this weekend, obviously. Can't really think too far ahead after this weekend, but what is the future of Str8 Rippin? What are you guys' goals for all of 2017?
2 words, weapons skins. We need them.
All right, Heinz, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on your victory so far, and best of luck a little bit later.